Welcome to the Bare Metal Cybersecurity ISSP Prepcast. This series helps you prepare for the ISC Squared CISSP exam with focused explanations and practical context. In this episode, we are exploring data sensitivity and labeling requirements, two tightly connected areas that are critical to securing organizational information effectively. Sensitive data must be protected in a way that reflects its value, regulatory obligations, and potential risk if compromised. Proper labeling ensures that data handlers understand how to treat that information, how to store it, share it, and dispose of it at every point in its life cycle. Data sensitivity and labeling are foundational elements in every data governance strategy. They support access control, encryption, compliance, incident response, and employee accountability. Without clearly defined sensitivity levels and consistent labeling practices, organizations risk underprotecting valuable data or overprotecting low-risk data in a way that wastes time and resources. Let us begin by understanding what we mean by data sensitivity. Data sensitivity refers to the degree of protection a piece of information requires, based on the harm that could result from its unauthorized disclosure, alteration, or destruction. The more significant the potential impact, the more sensitive the data is considered to be. Determining sensitivity is not always simple. It depends on several factors, including data type, business impact, regulatory requirements, and the data's value to competitors, customers, or the public. Sensitive data may include personally identifiable information, or PII, such as names, addresses, social security numbers, or birth dates. It may also include financial records, health information covered by regulations like the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, or trade secrets like proprietary algorithms or confidential strategies. Organizations must take the time to identify which categories of information are most sensitive within their environment. That requires inventorying data, classifying it based on content and context, and understanding how it flows through systems, applications, and third-party providers. Without this foundational understanding, security controls may be applied inconsistently or ineffectively. Protecting sensitive data is not only about avoiding breaches. It is also about meeting legal and regulatory responsibilities, maintaining the trust of your customers and employees, and protecting the organization's reputation and strategic interests. Mishandling sensitive data can result in compliance violations, legal liability, financial losses, and long-term brand damage. Now let us focus on the importance of data labeling. Once sensitivity has been determined, it must be communicated clearly. This is where labeling comes in. Data labeling is the practice of attaching visual or metadata-based indicators to data objects, such as documents, emails, databases, or files, to reflect their sensitivity level and guide their handling. Labels serve as instructions. They tell the user how to store, access, transmit, or destroy the data. Labels also assist automated systems, such as data loss prevention tools, in enforcing policies consistently across an organization. Common sensitivity labels include public, internal use only, confidential, and restricted or highly confidential. Each level corresponds to a specific set of handling rules. For example, confidential data may be accessible only to authorized employees and may require encryption at rest and in transit. Restricted data may require additional access restrictions, auditing, or dual authorization before it is shared externally. Clear and consistent labeling reduces the risk of accidental disclosures. When users see a file marked restricted, they are more likely to handle it cautiously. Conversely, marking a file public indicates that it can be shared widely, avoiding unnecessary restrictions and streamlining collaboration. Labeling also plays a critical role in compliance. Many privacy and security regulations require that organizations identify, label, and protect sensitive data. During audits, clear labeling systems make it easier to demonstrate control over data access, storage, and transmission. Labeling improves incident response as well. When a breach occurs, labeled data helps the security team quickly assess the scope and severity of the incident. It supports decisions about containment, notification, and regulatory reporting. Now let us explore how to implement effective labeling requirements. The process starts with policy. Your organization must establish clear criteria for assigning sensitivity labels. These criteria should consider the nature of the data, applicable legal or contractual obligations, business impact, and classification frameworks already in use. Once policies are in place, labeling can be performed either manually by data owners or automatically using classification and discovery tools. Automated tools can scan content for sensitive data patterns such as credit card numbers or social security numbers and apply the appropriate label based on defined rules. Manual labeling may be appropriate for context-dependent data, such as confidential meeting notes or project documents. Labeling practices should be clearly communicated to all staff. This includes defining what each label means, who is responsible for applying them, how to apply them, and what handling requirements are associated with each level. Policies, internal guidelines, and training materials must all reflect this information. To verify that labeling practices are being followed, organizations should conduct regular audits. These audits review data repositories for improperly labeled or unlabeled content, evaluate whether labels match policy, and highlight areas where employees need additional training. Regular audits support accountability and help maintain compliance. Training is critical to successful implementation. Employees must understand that data labeling is not a formality. It is a core component of the security culture. Training should include real-world examples, reinforce the consequences of mislabeling, and show how labeling connects to broader security practices. For more cyber-related content and books, please check out cyberauthor.me. Also, there are other podcasts on cybersecurity and more at baremetalcyber.com. Let us now connect labeling to security controls for sensitive data. Labels are not just visual cues. They are triggers that guide which security controls should be applied to protect the data. The more sensitive the label, the more stringent the controls. For example, highly sensitive data may require encryption both at rest and in transit. It may also require access to be limited only to a specific group of users and require multi-factor authentication before it is accessed. Systems may log all interactions with that data, and alerts may be configured to flag any anomalies or unauthorized attempts to access it. Moderately sensitive data may require encryption at rest, but not necessarily in transit. Access might be limited to employees within a business unit. Public data, by contrast, may require no specific controls beyond integrity protection or ensuring accurate publication. Secure backups and storage practices must also match data sensitivity. Highly sensitive data should be stored only in approved, hardened systems with strict physical and logical controls. Backup systems must preserve confidentiality and prevent unauthorized recovery. Disposal procedures such as shredding, degaussing, or wiping must align with the sensitivity of the data being destroyed. Continuous monitoring is important as well. Security systems must log and review access to sensitive data, especially when it is labeled confidential or higher. Monitoring helps detect misuse, whether from accidental mistakes or malicious insiders. Clearly defined incident response procedures ensure that any incident involving sensitive data is responded to quickly and effectively. When a breach occurs, labeled data enables teams to prioritize efforts, determine notification obligations, and contain exposure. Now, let us discuss continuous management of data sensitivity and labeling. These systems must be reviewed regularly to remain effective. Data types evolve, legal requirements shift, new technologies introduce new risks. That means your sensitivity criteria and labeling policies must evolve as well. Review your classification levels, criteria, and examples at least annually. Update them when new regulations are introduced, such as a new state privacy law or industry requirement. Feedback from audits, employees, and incident investigations should all inform improvements to your system. Cross-functional collaboration improves alignment and effectiveness. Security teams, data owners, legal departments, compliance officers, and operations teams must all work together to ensure that sensitivity and labeling requirements are applied consistently and understood organization-wide. Automation helps manage complexity. As your organization grows, the volume and diversity of data increase. Automated tools for classification, labeling, and policy enforcement can improve accuracy, reduce manual burden, and help maintain consistency across your data landscape. Finally, continuous employee training is non-negotiable. Employees must be reminded regularly of their responsibilities. They must know how to identify sensitive data, understand what labels mean, and follow handling procedures. As technology and risks change, so must the training. Thank you for joining the CISSP Prepcast by Bare Metal Cyber. Visit baremetalcyber.com for additional episodes, comprehensive CISSP study materials, and tailored certification support. Deepen your understanding of data sensitivity and labeling requirements, and will support your ongoing journey towards CISSP certification success.